Mike Tomlin took a lot of criticism in Pittsburgh, 0-7 in his last 7 playoff games. But in 19 years as the head coach, the Steelers never had a losing record under Mike Tomlin. This year, under the new head coach, Mike McCarthy, they're lined as an 8.5 win team, 500 level team, juiced to the under. So the wise guys expect the long-term success for Pittsburgh. And again, it's been 10 wins each of the last 3 years. Wise guys are saying, not in 2026. The betting market is expecting Pittsburgh to have a rare losing season. What are we going to do with the Steelers? Let's talk about it. Teddy covers wagertalk.com with a Pittsburgh Steelers 2026 preview. And boy, before I get started, guys, the likes, the comments, the follows make all the difference. Thank you for your support. Really. Thank you for watching these. And we're doing a whole bunch of NFL team preview videos. Be sure to check them all out right here on Wager Talk TV. Steelers, again, lined 8.5 wins and juiced to the under. I'm seeing minus 135, minus 145 to the under, even higher in some spots. And it's not like Mike McCarthy's an ass clown. Well, in the playoffs he's been. But in the regular season, the guy won in Green Bay. The guy won in Dallas. It's just the postseason where McCarthy's had his struggles, which is kind of like Tomlin. I said 0-7, 0-6 in his last 6 playoff games was Tomlin, and that's why he left after last year's failure. Now, McCarthy is in his 19th year as an NFL head coach, kind of like Tomlin in that sense. He's had regular season success and not much playoff success, kind of like Tomlin, at least in recent decades, kind of like Tomlin in that regard. Of course, McCarthy does have a long history of working with Aaron Rodgers. 2 of them were together in Green Bay for many years. And Rodgers, now 22 years as an NFL quarterback. The only other QB who started his age 42 season as a starter. I'm not sure if Warren Moon did, but the other guy is obviously Tom Brady, who was not good in his final year in the NFL, for what it's worth. Behind Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard. That's not a bad backup QB duo for the oldest quarterback in the league, the oldest starting quarterback in the league. If Rodgers gets hurt, can they survive standpoint? I think they can with that Rudolph/Howard duo behind them. And boy, this is an offense that was ranked number 25 last year. The defense was ranked number 26, number 29 versus the pass. Statistically, they were pretty lousy for a 10-win team a year ago. So the fact that they overachieved in that regard, as the market's a little bit suspect on Pittsburgh. I get it. But we look at Rodgers, he's old. We look at the talent around him, it's pretty good. It really is. We talk about DK Metcalf as a big playmaker, and the receiving core, you bring in Michael Pittman from Indianapolis as a free agent. We're going to see McCarthy calling plays, even though Brian Ainge does something. I can't read my notes. My apologies. The new offense coordinator, but he's not Angelico is not going to be calling plays. It's going to be McCarthy who's going to be calling to Rodgers. And of course, Rodgers last year, 24-7 touchdown to interception ratio. The offensive line, they put a ton of resources into the offensive line in recent years. All 5 starters on that OL have been drafted since 2023 with high draft choices. Number 1 pick this year out of Arizona State. Another offensive line prospect. And really, when I look at this OL and Rodgers, I say, yeah, there's protection. There's a QB who can make throws downfield. There's weapons for him to throw to. I see positive things for Pittsburgh's offense. I would not be surprised if it's as good or better than it was last year. Defensively, however, there are some issues with the Steelers. And before I talk about that, I do want to let you know about this great Survivor contest. It's the $21 million. It is the single biggest Survivor contest in history. It's a $1,000 entry fee. So this is not a cheap contest. That said, it has a $21 million prize. I'm in it. There's a handful of Wager Talk guys in it. Kelly in Vegas is in it. Why don't you join us? And again, it's a $1,000 entry fee. They're up to 150 entries allowed per person if you want to. I've got one. It's available in 35 plus states and Canada. And by the way, you can sign up in a neighboring state and still play in your state, like Nevada. Not legal in Nevada, but you sign up in California, you sign up in Arizona, you come back, you play all year long in Nevada. That's splashsports.com. And of course, you get $100 back to use on other contests or quick picks, whatever you like to do. And they have a marketplace. It's going to be ready by football season. You can cash out, you can sell your entry, you can buy into another entry. It's a cool concept. Splashsports.com/wager talk, password wager talk. Again, splashsports.com, $21 million survivor contest, splashsports.com/wager talk, password wager talk to get that $100 back to use on other contests. So defensively, I've got questions about Pittsburgh. This was the number 26 ranked defense last year. They kind of overachieved because of a positive turnover. There were 27 takeaways last year. That was fourth in the NFL. And, TJ Watt's now age 32. He's coming off an injury-plagued year, only had 7 sacks a year ago. The team had 48 sacks as a squad a year ago, despite Watt's injuries. They did add 2 pieces in the secondary. I like Jamal Dean. I like Juwan Brisker. 1 cornerback, 1 safety. They're joining Jalen Ramsey and Jerry Porter Jr. That's a good-looking secondary. The front 7 has some questions, and this, again, was not an elite defense last year, not by any stretch of the imagination. So if they get a pass rush, that secondary is going to shut teams down and make some plays. If they don't, we know what happens. Doesn't matter how good your secondary is. If the quarterback's got an hour to throw, sooner or later, somebody gets open. So a lot of pressure on Watt in the pass rush this year. And again, 48 sacks last year. But there are questions whether that's going to be even close this year, of course. And that plus 12 turnover margin, again, 27 takeaways a year ago. The plus 12 turnover margin was one of the best in the NFL a year ago. You have to expect some regression this year, even with a QB like Rodgers, who doesn't make a ton of mistakes. And Rodgers, number 27 in yards per pass attempt last year, despite the weapons he had around him. Lots of dink and dunk from Pittsburgh, which, again, can control clock, can keep the defense off the field. There's some positive signs here. Some concerns for Pittsburgh schedule-wise, and I think there's some real concerns when we look at their schedule. Look after the bye. At Cincy, at Philly, Denver, Houston, at Jacksonville, Baltimore, Carolina, at Tennessee, Baltimore. That's a tough stretch for Pittsburgh down the stretch of the 2026 campaign. Again, at Cincy, at Philly, at Jacksonville, Baltimore twice. Carolina's better. Houston, Denver. That's a tough stretch for the Steelers. And of course, we talk about the NFC North. They face AFC South and NFC South opponents, which is not a ton of travel. You're just traveling south, you're not traveling back forth across the country. Their 3 extra games, however, are tough. New England, Philadelphia, Denver. That's a tough 1, 2, 3, at least in this bettor's opinion. Lots of TV games for the Steelers. Not like the league is burying Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers in what is supposed to be his final year. They're going to be on Sunday Night Football twice. They got a Monday Night Football. They got a Thursday Night Football. They got a bunch of flex games. They got the Friday after Thanksgiving. We're going to see the Steelers a lot on TV. It's in the NFL's interest to have Pittsburgh be at least competitive this year. And again, we're talking about a franchise that is 8.5 wins. A line of 8.5 wins, meaning if they have another winning season like they've had 0 losing seasons in the last 2 decades, you'll cash your overbet with Pittsburgh. And we've seen wise guy money come against the Steelers in nearly every recent season. The wise guys consistently haven't liked Pittsburgh, and they've consistently taken a bath on the Steelers. I'm going to tell you what I want to do with Pittsburgh in just a moment. First, the NFL win report is out. And of course, I talk about this win report in every video. Why? Because I put a boatload of time and effort into it. It's a good product, and it's very reasonably priced. Plain and simple. 105-56. That's my 25-year track record with these win totals. Again, 105-56, 65% over 25 years. The big ticket, 17-5, 77% over a 25-year sample size. I spent all summer working NFL. The report is out right now. You can get it for $1.99 if you just want the report. Don't get the report. Let's partner up this football season, me and you. $5.99 is the full season price from day one of the preseason right through the Super Bowl, every play all included. Take $50 off. Use promo code Teddy50 at checkout. $50 off my NFL full season. So it's $5.49 from week one of the preseason through the Super Bowl. And oh, by the way, when you buy the full season, the win report is free. So check it out. WT.buzz/TC. if you're interested in getting on board. And I get it. This stuff isn't for everyone. But for those of you who are interested, this is the package, guys. Teddy50 at checkout. Truly. And I'm not mad at you if you don't. Like, comment, follow. It's all good. We appreciate those of you who watch the videos. We appreciate those of you who are interested in becoming Wager Talk customers. For my take on Pittsburgh, it's real simple. All right. We have a franchise that has been consistently good. We have a roster that looks pretty darn good on paper. We have an ancient quarterback, and we have a brand new head coach who he likes working with. 8.5 wins. I get it. The schedule's a little bit tough. But Pittsburgh has been there. Rodgers has been there. I can't sell this team short. If I'm playing the Steelers, I'll take the plus price and look at Pittsburgh over 8.5 wins. Thanks so much for watching Wager Talk TV. Best of luck with all your bets this football season. Again, like, comment below. Tell us what you think about the Steelers. And be sure to follow us on Wager Talk TV. Cheers. Have a great day.